They will tell you life is fair, that patience and hard work will be rewarded, that obedience, humility, and hope are virtues. They are lying. It's a trap, a silent cage designed to keep you weak, compliant, and predictable. Strength is not given, it is forged. Power is not handed down, it is seized. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He saw what the weak refuse to admit. The world does not operate on fairness. It operates on strategy, cunning, and force. Every moment you waste waiting for balance, for justice, for life to treat you right, is a moment your strength drains away. Every ounce of misplaced hope is an opportunity surrendered. This is not theory. This is not philosophy. This is the law of life. Over the next few minutes, you'll discover 9 truths that prove life is unfair and why turning despair into action is the only way to win. Let's get started. Number 1, stop comparing your life to others. Most people think measuring themselves against others is a way to grow. That's naive and short-sighted. The real power move is ignoring others' progress and focusing solely on your own path. When you stop comparing, you reclaim energy, focus, and influence. When you obsess over others, you give away your power and let society, peers, and opportunists dictate your mindset. Machiavelli said, "Men judge more from appearances than from reality. Those who dwell on comparisons will be seen as reactive and weak, while those who control their focus appear strategic and unshakable." Here's the secret. Stop measuring yourself against anyone else. Your only standard is your own progress. Track your wins, however small. Celebrate skill growth, small victories, and the mastery of your craft. Every moment spent comparing is a moment wasted. Energy that could be used to build influence, create opportunities, and dominate your own sphere. Focus on actions others cannot replicate. Learn faster, work harder, and plan smarter. Notice what you achieve versus what others achieve. Keep a journal of progress and set micro goals that challenge your limits. When faced with envy or doubt, ask yourself, does this observation fuel my strategy or distract me? Let every comparison transform into a lesson on how to improve yourself, not how to mimic others. Imagine 2 people, one who constantly watches others, one who ignores everyone else and sharpens their own strategy. One becomes reactive, fragile, and predictable. The other becomes untouchable, strategic, and respected, not because of who they are, but because of what they've built and how they act. The person who masters their focus controls their narrative. Others may chase trends, but you dictate results. Envy turns into insight. Jealousy turns into strategy. Comparison stops being a trap and becomes a tool. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I focus on myself. Number 2, pain as the greatest teacher. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your harshest, most honest mentor. Most people run from it. They complain about it, numb it, or call it unfair. But winners don't. Winners study it. Pain is a blueprint. It reveals exactly where you've been weak, blind, or unprepared. Ignore it, and it will return again and again until you finally listen. Every betrayal, every failure, every rejection is not random. Each one is a signal. It shows you where you trusted too easily, where you gave away power, where your defenses were thin. Machiavelli understood this truth. The wise man does at once what the fool does finally. Pain is the shortcut to that wisdom, if you are willing to face it. Start with reflection. After every loss, ask yourself, what did this moment expose? Was it a flaw in my judgment? A weakness in my boundaries? A failure in my preparation? Write the answer down. Build new defenses. Adjust your strategy. Strengthen what was once fragile. Keep track of your scars as carefully as you track your victories. People respect resilience. They respect those who endure hardship and rise stronger. When you share how you turn pain into progress, you give others a reason to believe in your strength. Change your language. Instead of "why did this happen to me?" say "this happened for me." Instead of "I can't handle this," say "this is making me stronger." Small shifts in words create massive shifts in perception. Pain also has another effect. It creates gravity. When others see you absorb hardship without breaking, they are drawn to you. They see someone who cannot be shaken, someone who has survived trials they still fear. Pain, embraced openly, becomes power others cannot ignore. But here's the warning. Pain only teaches if you listen. If you run from it, it owns you. If you numb it, it rots you. What you refuse to face will return stronger until it finally breaks you. The truth is brutal but liberating. Pain is the greatest teacher you will ever have. When you stop running from it, it stops controlling you. When you learn from it, it transforms suffering into strength. And when you master it, pain itself becomes your greatest advantage. Drop this affirmation in the comments. Pain fuels my rise. Number 3, turning obstacles into growth opportunities. Obstacles are not interruptions. They are the raw material of power. Every delay, every roadblock, every person standing in your way, they are all opportunities disguised as resistance. Most people see obstacles and retreat. You, if you are wise, will see them and advance. Machiavelli said, "Men shrink from adversity because they are weak. Fortune favors the bold." This is not encouragement. It is a law. Life will hit you, betray you, humiliate you. Those who complain become weaker. Those who exploit obstacles become untouchable. The difference is strategy. The difference is action. Look at every obstacle you faced. What could you have done differently? How could that failure have been turned into leverage? Every lost opportunity carries a hidden advantage for those who know how to extract it. The person who failed publicly today can rise tomorrow with knowledge, foresight, and the edge that those who never fail will never possess. Do not be fooled by difficulty. Difficulty is neutral. Only your response gives it value. The same storm that drowns the weak builds the ships of the powerful. Every rejection, every failure, every unfair twist is a blueprint. Read it, analyze it, learn its patterns, then use it. Study the obstacle. Break it down into its pieces. Identify where the pressure is coming from, what assumptions are hiding behind it, and which parts you can turn to your advantage. Turn frustration into focus. Turn resistance into strategy. Let the pain of obstacles sharpen your instincts, strengthen your strategy, and expand your influence. Ask yourself with every challenge, does this obstacle break me, or does it teach me to manipulate circumstances in my favor? Can I turn this disadvantage into leverage that others will envy and fear? Most people waste years complaining about the world. You will waste none of yours. You will use every barrier to grow stronger, smarter, and untouchable. This is the difference between the prey and the predator. The predator does not wait for the path to be clear. They carve it with precision and foresight. Every obstacle is raw material for power. Every resistance is a hidden advantage waiting to be seized. Those who see the world this way become unstoppable. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. Nothing blocks my path. Number 4, why crying changes nothing. Here's a hard truth. Tears do not solve problems. Crying may bring temporary relief, but it never builds power. Every second spent lamenting what's unfair, every sigh over what you cannot control, is a second wasted. The world does not pause for your emotions. It exploits them. Machiavelli once said, "Men are driven by appearances and results, not sentiment." Stop deluding yourself. Your pain is not a reason for sympathy. It is a signal for action. Those who wallow in grief become predictable, malleable, and weak. Those who transform despair into strategy become untouchable. When life blindsides you, when betrayal or misfortune strikes, the weak curl inward. They broadcast vulnerability. They hope someone notices their suffering. The strong do the opposite. They assess, adapt, and strike. Every setback is a lesson in control. Every failure a blueprint for dominance. Action begins with clarity. Resist the pull of emotion. Observe the situation sharply. Break it into its pieces. Identify what is within your influence and what is not. Ask yourself, which elements can I turn to my advantage? Which forces can I manipulate? How can this moment of pain increase my power? Transform frustration into strategy, despair into leverage. Let each disappointment sharpen your instincts, refine your judgment, and expand your influence. Ask yourself with every urge to cry, will these tears solve anything? Or will action solve everything? Can I convert this moment of pain into leverage that strengthens me and undermines those who would see me fail? Most people waste hours, days, even years mourning circumstances beyond their control. You will waste none of yours. You will act. You will adapt. You will advance. Crying is comfort for the powerless. Action is power for the relentless. The world rewards results, not suffering. Your tears will not negotiate promotions, will not earn respect, and will not protect you from manipulation. Your actions will. Every time you resist the urge to wallow, you strengthen your will. Every time you choose calculated action over emotional release, you increase your influence. You stop being prey. You start becoming the force others fear and respect. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I will not cry. Number 5, the power of taking action in the present. Waiting is the silent killer of potential. Most people live their lives under the illusion that the right moment will appear, that the stars will align, that clarity or luck will arrive before they act. They linger in hesitation, convincing themselves that patience is a virtue. But patience without action is nothing more than procrastination dressed as wisdom. Every day you wait, the world rewards the bold and punishes the passive. Consider this. Every opportunity you see slipping past, someone else has already seized it. Every promotion, every contract, every strategic advantage goes to those who act decisively. Machiavelli wrote, "It is better to be impetuous than cautious, for fortune is often swayed by boldness." The strong understand this. Fortune favors movement, not contemplation. Hesitation is a cost you pay to life, a toll extracted by indecision. Action is more than movement, it is power. Each choice you make, each step you take, signals to the world your presence, your priorities, and your capability. Every delay tells others you are predictable, passive, and weak. The moment you act, you become unpredictable, influential, and in control. The world responds to the doer, not the dreamer. Here's the brutal reality. Waiting for the perfect conditions is an illusion. Conditions are never perfect. People will always question you, circumstances will always resist you, and risks will always exist. But those who act anyway force circumstances to bend. They create momentum that inertia cannot stop. They turn obstacles into leverage, uncertainty into opportunity, and risk into dominance. Action also transforms perception. People notice decisive movers. They follow them, respect them, and fear them. People hesitate because they underestimate the effect of small, consistent action. Every minor step compounds over time, creating influence, positioning, and authority that no amount of planning alone can achieve. Hesitation ensures mediocrity. Action builds empires. The weak delay because of fear, overthinking, or the need for approval. The strong move because they understand the cost of waiting. They know that indecision invites loss, allows others to control outcomes, and forfeits leverage. The world does not reward those who wait. It rewards those who act with courage, precision, and relentless focus. Here's what to do. Take one decisive action today, no matter how imperfect. Break the pattern of delay. Let every hesitation remind you of the cost of inaction. Build momentum. Force the world to respond to your initiative, not your indecision. The outcome is undeniable. The more consistently you act, the more control you have over your environment, the more opportunities you generate, and the more power you accumulate. Those who hesitate will always watch from the sidelines, frustrated, envious, and powerless. Those who act shape reality, command respect, and bend circumstances to their will. Now, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I act now. Number 6, developing unshakable discipline. Discipline isn't optional. It's the weapon the strong use while the weak wait for luck. Most people think discipline is about restriction, about forcing themselves to follow rules. Wrong. Discipline is about control. Control over your impulses, your time, your energy, and your future. Machiavelli understood the value of calculated consistency. He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. You cannot command your life if you are ruled by fleeting desires, laziness, or distraction. Here's the brutal truth. Every time you skip a task, delay action, or indulge in comfort, you weaken your influence over life itself. Others who act consistently, ruthlessly, without excuses, are quietly taking the advantage you are leaving behind. They aren't lucky, they are disciplined. Start by mastering your daily rituals. Identify one area where you have been inconsistent, your work, fitness, learning, or financial growth, and commit to a measurable, non-negotiable action every day. No exceptions, no excuses. Consistency compounds. Small daily victories build a fortress of self-control that others cannot breach. Next, remove distractions that fracture your focus. Every unnecessary scroll, chat, or indulgence chips away at your potential. Machiavelli wrote, "A prince never lacks legitimate reasons to break his promise." Use this principle internally. Break the habits that enslave you. Break the weak cycles that keep you reactive instead of strategic. Finally, train your mind to see discomfort as a signal, not a barrier. Discipline isn't pleasant, it's inconvenient. It's the grind that makes others quit and leaves you standing, sharper, stronger, unstoppable. Each time you resist an impulse, follow through on a commitment, or do what is hard but necessary, you reinforce your authority over yourself. And the world notices. The outcome is undeniable. People respect reliability and authority. Opportunities gravitate toward those who can deliver consistently. Weakness loses its hold. Every habit you conquer, every boundary you enforce, every routine you maintain builds an invisible armor of power. Those who ignore discipline remain vulnerable, exposed, and manipulated. Drop this in the comments. I am unstoppable. Number 7, break free from the victim mindset. Are you tired of feeling trapped, like life is constantly taking from you? Here's the harsh truth. Life doesn't owe you anything. Every excuse you make, every why me, you whisper, chains you tighter to weakness. Power doesn't reward whining. It rewards those who take control, relentlessly and without apology. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. Men are driven more by fear than by love. They obey out of necessity, not loyalty. When you act like a victim, fear dictates your choices. Others notice it. They exploit it. Your time, energy, and opportunities are quietly stolen while you wait for rescue that will never come. The first step to breaking free is to stop justifying your situation. Stop blaming the world, other people, or circumstances for what you haven't accomplished. Recognition is key. Identify the patterns where you have given away your power and why. This clarity allows you to see exactly where control was lost. Next, reclaim authority over your decisions. Pick one area of your life where you've been passive: relationships, work, finances, and take decisive action. Speak up, enforce boundaries, and set clear expectations for yourself and others. Don't just make the decision, plan the steps, execute them consistently, and track your progress. Small victories here ripple into larger domains, building momentum, confidence, and visible influence. Finally, strengthen your discipline to resist excuses. Each time you think, "I can't," or "it's not fair," counter it immediately with, "I will act, I will move, I will decide." Push a little further. Identify one action today that moves you closer to control, and do it, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. This turns mindset into habit, shifting you from reactive to strategic. The outcome is powerful. Clarity replaces confusion. Confidence replaces hesitation. Weakness is no longer visible to others, and your presence commands respect. The victim waits for permission. The strategic thinker seizes opportunity. The weak hope for rescue. The strong create it themselves. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I am no victim. Number 8, building resilience for the long journey. Life isn't a sprint, it's a relentless marathon. Most people break when the path gets rough, when setbacks pile up, when the weight of disappointment feels unbearable. They quit, they whine, they settle for less than they deserve. Resilience is what separates the powerless from those who command their destiny. Machiavelli understood that persistence and foresight were weapons. He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. Resilience is knowing how to command your own mind, your own reactions, your own focus, even when everything around you screams defeat. Look at the challenges you've already faced. Every betrayal, failure, or loss didn't just hurt, it tested you. The weak let it define them. The strong absorb it, analyze it, and use it to fortify themselves for what comes next. Resilience is learning from every hit and walking taller than before. Here's what you do. Deliberately face discomfort instead of avoiding it. Break problems into manageable steps and tackle what's within your control. Reflect on your victories to reinforce belief in your strength and anchor every reaction in strategy rather than emotion. Asking yourself, what can I learn? How can this advance my position? And what's the smartest next move? Each setback becomes a lesson, each challenge a sharpening tool, and each decision a deliberate step toward unshakable power. The outcome is undeniable. A resilient person doesn't crumble under pressure. They adapt. They anticipate. They remain focused when others panic, turning challenges into stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. Contrast this with the unprepared. They see obstacles as the end of the road, complain, retreat, and resign themselves to mediocrity. The resilient take the same circumstances and transform them into an advantage others could never touch. Now I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I am unbreakable. Number 9, master your emotions, master your life. Most people let their emotions run the show. Anger, fear, envy, desire. They react first, think later, and hand their power to anyone clever enough to exploit it. That's amateur hour. The masters of life understand this. Control your emotions, and you control everything. Machiavelli knew this instinctively. Men are driven more by fear than by love. They obey out of necessity, not loyalty. Those who master their emotions wield influence. Those who don't are puppets of circumstance. Here's the secret. Every emotional surge is a decision in disguise. Anger can be a weapon or a weakness. Fear can alert you or paralyze you. Frustration can fuel growth or fuel disaster. Recognize the impulse before it dictates your move. Most people never pause. They act, they react, they stumble. You don't have to. Notice every surge of emotion before it drives your actions. Ask yourself, will this reaction advance my power or weaken it? Will it protect my position or expose it? Channel your energy strategically. Anger becomes focus. Fear becomes calculation. Frustration becomes fuel. Every interaction is a battlefield. Every challenge a chance to practice self-command. Respond, don't react. Speak when it strengthens your position. Stay silent when words would weaken it. Let your presence communicate calm, decisiveness, and unshakable control. People notice. They respect it. They follow it. The emotionally reactive, they are predictable, manipulable, expendable. You become untouchable. Push this further. Identify the patterns that usually trigger emotional reactions, people, situations, conflicts. Anticipate them, prepare your response, and practice restraint until it becomes instinct. Over time, this builds an aura of mastery. You stop being led by chaos or by others' manipulations. Instead, every move, every word, every pause is calculated. Your emotions become allies, not enemies. You dictate outcomes, not circumstances. You signal strength without aggression, control without force. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I am in control. You've heard the truth. 9 lessons, 9 weapons. But none of it matters unless you act. The weak will watch this and scroll. The strong will declare, decide, and rise. So I ask you, will you stay small, chained by comparison, excuses, and hesitation? Or will you choose discipline, resilience, and power? If you are ready, prove it. Drop this in the comments right now. I am unstoppable. Say it with conviction. Make it your law. And if these words struck you, sharpen yourself daily. Like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications because this is only the beginning. Every day we rise. Every day we train until the world has no choice but to respect us. We are iron-willed,